a lot's going on. So I don't even know where to start. I don't even know what we want to dive into first. I mean, this is
we can go with Let's go with Chris Paul.
perfect.
Okay. Okay, so we could take it back a couple of weeks. First, I went to the Magic game against the Clippers here in Orlando, and he was playing kind of garbage minutes against Jace Richardson. I felt bad watching it. I'm like, he played against Jace Richardson's father, and now he's out here, playing garbage minutes. He had to play against Jason Richardson. Yeah, had to.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, man, it's because it's tough. He's playing garbage minutes for a team that's not winning. And then a couple days later, now he kind of announces this is his last year. So you're thinking, okay, this is probably the only good storyline for the Clippers this year, right? It's been shitty with the Kawhi stuff, them losing, their pick going to OKC, which is like NBA's worst nightmare probably. And then on top of it, I was like, okay, at least the Chris Paul thing's like the positive thing they could talk about, like this farewell tour. And then literally a week later, literally overnight, he puts it on his Instagram, and then obviously the Clippers announce it. Seems like he's getting released or sent home, however you want to put it. What were your thoughts when you saw that?
I have mixed emotions with it. First off, I got a lot of respect for Chris Paul. Played with him for multiple years in LA, multiple years in Houston. So he's a special, talented player. Where the Clippers got a lot of respect for the organization, Steve Ballmer in particular. I think he's a great owner. I'm not saying he's made the greatest decisions, all the time, but who does, especially as an owner. But I've got nothing against Steve. He's always just been first class with me and my family. This is a tough one to touch on. There's a reason why I had to contain myself from tweeting or making an Instagram video or one of my little walk and talk videos, which I haven't done in a long time.
Need
to get back to that.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to save it for the pod. But the reality is there are two sides of this, and whether people want to hear this is the truth. All right. I'm going to make this clear. I got nothing but respect for Chris and the Clippers, both sides. If we're going to start with the Clippers side, they are struggling. I don't even know what their record is. What are they, 5-16, whatever it is? It's something awful.
They won last night. And
Okay.
you know what I hate about the win last night is people are going to point to, they got rid of Chris, and look, they won by they beat the Hawks, but the Hawks didn't have Jalen Johnson. Obviously no Trey.
Yeah, Hawks didn't have Jalen Johnson or Trae Young. So you could take that for what it's worth. Not to mention, it's not like Chris was playing 30 minutes a game, guys. So Chris being cut or waived and people thinking that somehow has propelled the Clippers to be the team they were supposed to be, that's just not going to happen.
Right.
The Clippers have played like dog shit this year. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. They've been awful. And there's a lot of names to blame, but we could do that another time. It's not what today's about. You then decide to do this whole thing for Chris. Chris announces his last year. Y'all do a tribute video for him. All these different things. The press conference to bring Chris in. Okay? This isn't a guy who signed a max contract. This isn't a guy who planned on playing 30 minutes a game. He's in year, 20? You guys probably knew it was going to be his last year, hence the reason why you signed him, hence the reason why the press conference for his signing was huge. I don't know if you remember, there's a huge fan base. All the people from the organization were there. Chris is on stage crying, holding the mic. Do you remember this?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure so people don't have amnesia. This happened.
Right.
All right. You fast forward to today and you cut him in the middle of a road trip, in the middle of the night. So then people's reaction is anger. We got to start asking, what happened, guys? Okay, we got to get past the anger. We got to get past it. I'm gonna touch on the Clippers in a second. Trust me, they ain't getting out scot free. All right, but we gonna start with this first. What happened?
So your initial thought was something had to have happened at an event. This isn't like we're not getting along. This is did something.
This isn't just I don't really like Chris. Let's cut him, because they knew the ramifications would happen.
Right.
You knew the public wouldn't like it, and you knew the spectacle of what you made it out to be. He's coming home to the Clippers. He's probably the greatest Clipper ever. So all this being put in mind and said, you cut him, there has to be some type of, well, what the hell happened? What's going on?
Yeah.
So then the rumors come out. Him and Ty Lue haven't spoken in 7 weeks. Okay, there's one. Then he's being extremely disruptive and holding front office management and coaching accountable. Okay, so there it is. All right, so then now we got a reason why. So then it comes down to what was going on and what happened, and was it significant enough for you guys to do this? It had to be something of significance, what was being said, because it ruffled feathers enough to where they just cut him in the middle of a road trip. They didn't wait till he got back home. They didn't wait till they were on a winning they didn't wait till any proper timing of the season.
Just waited till April.
Yeah. So your team is struggling. You're on the road, and then you just cut Chris in the middle of the night to the point where he feels angry and irritated enough to where he's posting now. The post of him with the deuces sign saying, "Hey y'all, they sent me back home. Appreciate, which is really an angry, fucked up way for Chris to be ending his career." Okay, and then he has the post where him, Blake, and DJ are all laughing.
We got to dive into that one too.
Which doesn't look good either, because that's the three most significant Clippers players we've pretty much had.
And we all know what the Clippers did to Blake. And they signed him and then got rid of him a couple months later.
So you can see Blake even laughing about it. Like
they did you too?
They did you too. So now there's an outpour of anger for the Clippers franchise from the fans, even Clippers fans, not even. We're talking about just sports fans seeing this and being like, that's not right. I don't know what he was doing. Now, I could tell you this. If you want the truth, I've played with Chris Paul, so I know how Chris is. He ain't easy to deal with.
The Clippers know how Chris is too.
So you knew that before you signed him.
Right.
Chris is a floor general. He's a captain. He's a leader. And he's a really good one, actually. That's why every team he's been on, we're talking about prime Chris, got better. OKC sucked. They brought him in. They went and they made the playoffs. Houston was good. We got Chris. We made it to the playoffs and became a very, very good team. Clippers were good. Lob City was okay. Chris came there. They became Lob City for real. Chris has only ever improved. The Suns made a finals run after not making the playoffs the year before. They brought Chris in. They go to the finals. JJ even touched on it 2 weeks ago when they were doing all these tributes and videos. He was like, yo, Chris ain't never won a ring, but like the one word that I describe Chris is he is a winner. Wherever he goes, they win. Now, he hasn't won a ring, but they always get better. This is a fact. You can look at the statistics to point this out. Why is this? Chris is very demanding. He's very demanding. It's not nice sometimes either. Now, politically, he comes across very smiley, family man, because he is.
I think the secret's out that he is tough.
But a lot of players, former players, some guys don't like playing with him. That same video of him, DJ, and Blake couldn't have took place 10 years ago. It's called a bean.
Right.
All right? Those three didn't like each other. Two of them didn't like Chris, DJ and Blake. Now, time moves on. They all mature. I'm sure Blake realized things he did wrong. DJ realized things he did wrong. Chris realized things he did wrong.
Well, once you realize that they should have won a title, you realize
maturity happens.
All of them could have done differently.
Yeah, so
of course.
People meet in the middle, and that's why they're having this hilarious photo video of them, smiling and laughing after this Chris departure.
The best example of that's Shaq and Kobe. Down the road, they're like, man, we should have won 10 titles.
It's what happens.
Yeah.
Usually maturity sets in, and people are able to forgive and forget and learn and blah, blah, blah. But there was hostility there, which is why that thing blew up, okay? And they didn't get along. Period. I was there, so I don't want to hear no other bullshit. I was in the locker room. I know exactly what's going on. I'm refraining from talking, guys. I could really get into it, but that's not my place to do it. I don't do that. I don't spill that type of tea. But there was animosity, and I'm going to leave it at that. Chris has gone to a lot of places, and it's what happens with him sometimes. Period. All right? Otherwise, why didn't San Antonio keep him? He's a good vet. They got all these young point guards. You got Dylan Harper, De'Aaron Fox, all these guys. Why won't you keep Chris?
That's a good point.
Okay. So I'm not saying Chris is a bad guy. He's not. I'm just saying the way Chris is, if the coaches or front office don't agree with it, it can ruffle feathers because he's not a guy he ain't going to be he going to do things his way.